to this week's edition of Black Pumps TV. We are here. We're so excited. We have this lady, this girl, that's kind of trailblazing everywhere. She's setting LA on fire and she's doing so much. She's an artist, she's a photographer, and a stylist.
Yes.
Bukunmi, Grace. Hello, how are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me here.
What's your full name, Bukunmi? How do you say it?
It's actually Grace Bukunmi Ajanaku, and it's Grace Olua Bukunmi Ajanaku.
Ola Bukunmi.
But my entire family calls me Bukunmi.
Bukunmi, okay.
And then my friends call me Grace.
Oh,
so
okay. So
it is my actual first name. Grace
Yes.
is so it's Grace is great,
Okay.
but Bukunmi is more meaningful to me.
Okay.
That's like my family name.
Right. What does Bukunmi mean? I think that's a Nigerian name, right?
Yeah, Olua Bukunmi means blessed by God or God
Oh.
bless me.
Okay.
So the full meaning is God bless me, and then Bukunmi just as itself is just blessed or blessed
Yeah.
by God.
Oh.
And so is Grace. Grace
And
is
so
the
is
same.
Grace.
It's
Oh
the
my
same.
gosh. They give you the same
My parents
two
weren't
names.
joking. They were like, she's going to be blessed.
It's kind of confession. They wanted to make that confession on you so that you
Yeah.
remain blessed.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking your hashtag is what?
It's hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Yeah, definitely.
So we mentioned that you're a photographer and a stylist.
Yes.
How did you study photography in school?
I did not. I studied international relations
Oh
because
my.
I wanted to be a diplomat.
Okay.
I initially wanted to be a journalist, but
Okay.
my dad was a journalist and he was not with the idea.
Oh, okay.
So I was really into politics
Okay.
on an international level, and
Mhm.
more so I just wanted to travel.
Hmm.
So I thought it'd be a really interesting way to mix my art background. So I've
Mhm.
always been interested in art and fashion
Okay.
since I was like 10 or 11. So I thought it'd be an interesting
Okay.
way to mix that with politics
Mhm.
and traveling. So I went in with that, but when I got to college, I realized it wasn't the right career for me.
Okay.
So I spent most of my time in college just being part of fashion organizations and doing
Okay.
runway shows and
Oh.
designing clothes and taking photos until I really figured out that
Mhm.
photography and styling is what I was really passionate about.
Oh, so you're also a stylist, right?
Yes, yes.
And so you do fashion. What type of stylist are you?
I sell music videos,
Okay.
red carpets,
Oh.
billboard shoots, editorial shoots.
Okay.
It's just a range. I've been fortunate enough to
Mhm.
work with a lot of musicians, but I've also worked for lookbooks. I've done just so many different types of styling, and
Okay.
also a lot of my own shoots as well for
Okay.
editorials. I'll style sometimes. I
Okay.
like working with stylists as well.
Okay.
Which
So
makes
when
it
you say
different.
stylist, what exactly does that entail?
So I'm the one pretty much that builds relationships with showrooms,
Mhm.
designers, artisans, so
Okay.
that when someone comes to me and they're like, we want to shoot this 70s era print
Oh.
vein, like specific
Okay,
thing,
yeah.
and like this is who would be best paired with
Mhm.
designer wise. These are showrooms I could pull from,
Okay.
and I would do so. I would contact them, do the pulls, and then on the day of shoot, I style everything.
Oh.
Yeah, and that involves a lot of just like tailoring on set
Mhm.
and just making
Tailoring?
sure. Yeah, sometimes
Wow.
I have to tailor on set and just making sure everything fits the aesthetics of the shoot.
Okay.
Because I think it's a very major part of visuals.
Mhm.
It's just how everything looks, and styling is just like another part of that I
Hmm.
enjoy doing.
Well, so that's your new passion, right? Or your passion?
It's
Because you
funny-
moved from international relations
Well, international relations was never really.
passion. Okay.
I just
That
like
was
traveling.
that- Oh.
I just
okay.
wanted to, I just knew that traveling just is the best education for me. So I figured any career that has to do with that
Mhm.
in the arts field would be amazing. So that's why I
Mhm.
went into that initially. And styling was also kind of an accident because I had
Okay.
I'd been involved in fashion. I worked at a vintage store for 2 years
Okay.
and did like all the window display, all the buying,
Hmm.
and worked with my boss really closely on that. And then after that, just styling my own shoots and then styling photographer shoots just to learn to be a better photographer, honestly.
Wow.
So I started getting into styling to learn to be a better photographer, and it wasn't until recently, actually like a year ago, that in meeting different agents and just having different meetings, that everyone's kind of brought to my attention that I also had a styling portfolio that I could market
Oh, wow.
and use. And so since that occurred, I've been just steadfastly doing both as much as possible.
So you talked about travel being like the best thing that you're doing because you like to travel. And I read somewhere that the best expense or the only expense that makes you richer is travel.
Exactly. totally feel that. There's nothing you can buy in this world that will get you the mental,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the mental capacity that traveling and meeting new people and talking to new people and learning their experiences
Right.
and getting outside of yourself will
Yeah.
do. I really, you know, I just believe that. And although I have been situated in LA for a month now.
For a month.
For a while now. I don't travel often.
Okay.
I travel maybe like 2 or 3 times a year, but I do get the itch every once in a while that I have to go somewhere and experience something different.
Okay.
So I've been fortunate that my work is, you know, taking me
Takes
to
you-
different
okay.
places.
Oh,
great.
that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So I know you've been to South Africa because I kind of follow you a little bit on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you've been to South Africa with Elle
Yeah.
magazine. Tell us about that.
That was an amazing opportunity.
Okay.
It just kind of came because of my mom, actually. We have family in South Africa, and she
Okay.
wanted to take me there. And I'm a little bit stubborn about my work ethic, and I can't travel without working. It's really hard for me to do.
You know,
so
it's a good way to do that. And
It's
you can
great.
you can write it off for
I
taxes.
do,
Okay.
actually.
Oh, so you must have
I
a good
do,
tax person.
yes,
Yeah.
I do. So I figured it'd be great to go there and kind of meet the people, the influencers, the writers, editors, the fashion movers and shakers. And a good way might be to host a brunch. So I contacted Elle and just organized this like influencers brunch. And in talking to them, I also pitched a couple of stories, and they loved 2 in particular. So I was able to photograph 2 stories for them in Cape Town and Johannesburg, and as well as meet amazing people from not just Elle but different Gracia and you know, South Africa Times, like different editors there while I was there. So it was a very special time for me.
So
Shout out to
how
Mom.
did you? Oh, okay. So it's mom that.
Shout out to moms for suggesting I should go there. You know, it's great.
So I was just wondering, how did you orchestrate all that, getting to meet all that people, like getting your contact and your foot into the door?
It's just a lot of research, trying to figure out who the best person to reach based on their work and their stories. I kind of research every person and see what they've created and how, if it's in line with what I've made, and kind of use that as a resounding point. Like, hey, we come from the same place, but you're just in a different place.
Right.
So doing that researching and then just outreach and follow up, and also making sure everything that I put forward to them, you know, is sound or is detail oriented or it makes sense for everyone involved. And with pitching things, it's always a hit or miss.
Wow.
But it's always hit or miss. But I found that just contacting someone, not as like, hey, I want something or I need something from you, but hey, you're another human being that I want to get to know more and maybe possibly work with, has been the most successful route for me in meeting strangers.
That's cool. So it sounds like your parents are agreeing with your choice of work, especially now that it's successful. Because I was wondering, here's what I was wondering before we started talking. I'm like, okay, she's born to Nigerian parents. How did her parents look at photography and stylist as a profession?
They understand what I'm doing, but that's fine. They support it. But every once in a while, my dad will be like, "I hope you find a real job soon."
Exactly.
And I appreciate that too. I'm glad that he is earnest about my success, even he doesn't even know I can't explain. Hey, I actually am getting paid to shoot people, and I get to do budgets, and it's fine. But it's hard to get them to understand that, and that's perfectly fine. In my dad's mind, I should have 3 PhDs by now.
By now, so exactly.
At least 3.
He's a Nigerian dad.
At least 3, you know. And I think that's so admirable, and that's something I want to pass on to my kids. I always strive. Like, art is great, but just understanding of everything with science, philosophy, and having a really good knowledge background and using that to fuel your career, I think that's so important. So while they might not understand, and I might not be able to show them everything I'm doing or tell them why I'm doing that, I appreciate the support, you know, the innate support that they have for the work that I do.
Yeah, your mom introduced you to South Africa,
Exactly.
so that's one thing.
And you know, and although she didn't understand why I was going around the streets shooting people, she, you know, she was very confused about that. But it's still like, thank you for bringing me to this place. And
I find your work very inspiring.
Thank
you.
you.
I go through it. I went to your website. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. Especially when I saw that. I wish I have a picture of it. The one you did for Hillary Clinton.
Yes, it
Says
was
Hillary and vote with that. It's such an amazing picture.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really fun editorial we shot in New York, and it was inspired by Hillary Clinton and just her race for for presidency, and
Okay.
we did it with this magazine called Galore, and it was
Okay.
just a political feminism and fashion mixed photo shoot, and those are the kind of things I really love doing. I'm so involved in fashion, but there always has to be a real theme behind everything I do, and
Okay.
like a social cultural impact to what I do, and
Yeah.
that was a great way to do
it.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So that's
fun.
Galore magazine.
Yeah.
And then you've worked for Elle. Who else have you worked for?
I worked for Cosmo,
Okay.
Marie Claire, Highsnobiety, just a
Oh my
wide
gosh.
range of like women's lifestyle
Okay.
and streetwear magazines.
Okay. So we don't have a magazine, but you're doing this, so you're gonna have to come and shoot because we're all about women.
I'm
We're
so
all
down.
about women.
I'm
We're all
always
about
there.
women.
Always there.
Yeah. So you moved to LA in 2012, correct?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
in this short period of time, you've experienced all this success.
It's been interesting. It's been interesting, and in reading your questions, I realized, oh yeah, I have. I always forget because I just wanted so much more. So in reading questions like yours, it makes me reflect and think about it and think about the process. But you know, I'm thankful to God, and I'm thankful to people who support me and the work that I get to do, and that makes me, you know, even want to do way more than I've already done.
Wow.
You know, so.
Wow. So where do you live primarily? LA or New York?
I live
or-
primarily in LA.
In LA,
Yes,
okay.
yes. I worked in New York for 4 months last year.
Okay.
And it was,
Oh wow.
I love being there, and I do work a lot more in New York. But LA, I get to work and live,
Okay.
and that's the biggest
glad,
difference.
yeah, yeah.
But I love being in New York. I mean, there's just so many great places in this world to work, and
To work,
I wish
yeah.
I could be everywhere at once.
Yeah. So you've been to South Africa. What other countries have you been to?
I've been to Thailand. I've been to Netherlands, Germany,
Oh wow.
Austria,
Oh.
Spain, Portugal. I haven't been to London.
With your work. Oh, yeah, look at that. She's from Nigeria. She hasn't
Paris,
been
yeah, France. I haven't been to
Oh,
London.
wow.
I know.
Wow.
I'm hoping to go there this August for the
Oh my
first time.
god.
but-
So this is with your work, right?
mostly with my work. Some of it has been travel, and mostly everything has been mixed.
You've been mixing,
Yeah, I went to Germany.
That's the best way to do it for tax purposes.
I
okay?
mix everything. I mix business and pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
talk to
just
somebody, you
on.
write it down. You can
I
talk
mix
to
it
them,
in,
yeah,
and just whenever I get the opportunity to travel, I'm always, you know, so excited. But in the back of my mind, I'm always like, how can I make this work? What story can
Yeah.
I discover there? Who can I talk to
Yeah,
there? What kind of people can I meet
Oh, I
there?
like that.
And then go off that.
So everything is intentional. So do you have like a travel tip to anyone who is trying to travel, who is trying to experience other countries?
Travel tip. That's difficult. I think just do your research before you go anywhere. It's always great to go to Paris or London or wherever, but if you go there and you have no idea where to go, what to do, it becomes this. You can just be consumed with like social media,
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
and while you're there, you're like not doing anything, and just
Yeah.
have always a consistent urge for adventure. So
Okay.
there's definitely places I've been to and I've gotten there and I had no place to stay and things weren't figured out, and just being open to adventure and being open to people. Be wise, of course, and keep a vigilant eye on your bags,
Yeah,
especially.
yeah.
But being open to experiencing people and not using the knowledge you have from your history, like influence how you meet people is so important.
All right. So do you think that your travel have influenced you in how your business works?
Completely. I think whenever I travel, I get really inspired about my work and different issues. And there's always something new that I realize. And going to Germany 2 years ago and getting to see like the refugee crisis firsthand there was different, because I wouldn't think that would be a place that I would gain knowledge about. But having that first experience, like going to like refugee camps, it really shaped just how I viewed what I was doing. Because then when I went, I was doing a lot of editorial fashion, like kind of frou-frou work, and it made me realize this is not, although it's great, I need to make more serious work. Just for I think life demands it. So things like that are why I think it's so fundamental to travel. And just last December, I went to Thailand, and being there made me realize how much. It made me realize how stupid money is, but also just how to like financed properly to live
Okay.
a satisfactory life, because things are so affordable there, but
Yeah.
like the life, you know, the cost of living is low, but living cost is like high. So just different things like
Different
that,
things,
you
yeah.
know, when I travel, I realize.
So okay, so I'm going to come back to you. So who really inspires you?
Who really inspires me?
Apart from your parents.
By my parents, I'm inspired by other artists. I'm
Okay.
inspired by the first person I was ever inspired by was Alexander McQueen.
Okay.
I've been inspired by Coco Chanel. I've
Oh,
been
I like
inspired
that.
by
Okay.
Inez and Van Du, like this amazing photography duo,
Yeah.
Juco Photo.
Oh, wow.
There are so many talented photographers, and
Wow.
every day I feel like I discover someone new. And even my friends are super inspiring. Their work is great
Oh,
too.
wow.
And I feel like I'm constantly in a bubble of inspiration. If I really allow myself to be there
Yes, yeah.
in that space, like
Okay.
there's inspiration everywhere.
Okay. So what is your biggest don't in fashion? Since you're like, you know, just
Don't
do
forget to be yourself. No.
Yeah, that's a good one, by the way. Always
Honestly, it is, because I have seen people, and I've definitely had phases where I
Yeah.
was not dressing like myself, and looking
Exactly.
back, I'm like, that purple hair might have not been the best look, or maybe I should not have paired a mini skirt with like jumpers or something
Yeah,
crazy like that.
exactly.
So I think it is important to be yourself, and
Yeah.
you know, seek influence.
What works for
outside.
you won't work for me. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
so-
of course, the second thing is just make sure your clothes fit, and that's like the most important thing. I think people are always looking for how can fashion make me a more beautiful person, how it can make me a more well-known person. It's
Yeah.
like, how can your clothes fit well
Fit
on
well,
you? And
yeah,
then let's start
exactly.
with that,
Yeah.
and then go and make you feel comfortable in the clothes enough to like do whatever you desire.
Yeah.
I think those are two.
Yeah,
important
don't
things.
force into, you know, I know some people that are like, oh, okay, I want to be a size 8, and so they just go to
Why?
buy a size 8. No,
Don't
it
do
doesn't
that.
matter.
Don't do that. It's not necessary.
Exactly.
It's really not. Yeah.
So what's your staple fashion piece then?
Oh, that's hard. I have so many favorites.
Look, I'm admiring your jacket
I wear this
already.
jacket every day. Jackets are probably the biggest thing. I think that's it. Jackets are the biggest thing for me. It's probably the thing I own the most of besides sequins pieces. I used to collect sequin pieces everywhere I
Oh,
traveled.
wow.
And
Oh,
wear
wow.
it for my birthday every year for like 4 years straight. So I think, I think jackets. I have like big fluffy blue ones and
Oh.
big like leopard ones, and I'm really into this purple velvet one I've been wearing lately.
Oh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I could wear a jacket like every day.
Every day.
of the
Oh,
week.
so that's a staple. So what's the next thing for Bukunmi Grace before we end this?
I'm just, working on a couple different photo series right now that I'm very passionate about. I've had one in mind for over a year now, and I'm excited to put it out in the world. And it's going to be a mix of stills and augmented reality. So I think
Okay.
it's going to be very different. I'm just finalizing a couple of things right now, but very excited about that. But also want to do like possibly a gallery showcase in the future.
Okay.
But aside from that, just traveling more and doing more meaningful projects are really important to me. And the more that I get to do, the greater.
The greater.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the key to your success? Because I think you're very successful in such a
Thank
short
you.
period.
I appreciate that. Anxiety. Just kidding. No. I think just having a grasp of the bigger picture and knowing that all this is great, and it's amazing that I get to follow my interests every day. But I sometimes still do things like take on work that I don't necessarily want to do, but it kind of forces me and reminds me that I am so privileged to do things I get to do. So seeing the bigger picture and realizing that we're only here for a short amount of time and we get to do these amazing things and make the most of it is what drives me every day to keep pushing and keep discovering and keep like building more.
Wow. This has been amazing. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
I learned so much from you.
Thank
know,
you
and
for
how
the great
you do things.
questions. They're really, really good. I appreciate
Thank you.
them.
Thank you. And thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Good.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. We hope you tune in for the next session.